Imagine waking up to the sound of gentle waves, sipping coffee on your dock, and spending your days kayaking or fishing. For my wife and me, this isn't just a dream. It's a goal we're determined to achieve in the next 5 years. In today's video, I'm sharing the exact financial steps we're taking to make this happen so you can start working toward your own dream too. Let's dive in. The other day, my wife and I were reminiscing about the incredible memories we made at her grandparents' lake house at Smith Mountain Lake in Virginia. From being thrown off the tubes while tubing to jumping off the dock, those summer visits hold a special place in our hearts. We couldn't help but dream about owning our own lake house one day, a place where our kids could create their own unforgettable memories. And that's when my wife turned to me and said, I want to buy a lake house within 5 years. It was the first time that we put a timeline on this dream, and it got me thinking about what we needed to do to make it a reality. And quite frankly, it made me really excited. Step one in any big financial goal is defining what you're aiming for. For us, we started reminiscing about the lake house my wife's grandparents owned when she was a child. Those summer memories, from tubing on the water to watching the sunset over the mountains from the dock, have stuck with her. And we want to create those moments for our kids. That's why the first thing we need to do is to decide where we'd love our lake house to be. We're torn between Smith Mountain Lake, where her family made so many great memories, or a spot near a ski resort for that year-round fun. Once we have a few locations in mind, we will start to research the price range for those houses in the areas. Now, I know the prices of the homes will most likely be different in 5 years, but this gives us an idea of what we could potentially be spending. And it's crucial to consider not just the purchase price, but also the related expenses that come with owning a second home. We need to factor in costs like maintenance, property taxes, insurance, and any potential HOA fees to make sure that we have a full understanding of the financial commitment that we're getting involved in. With this information, we can then set a realistic budget that aligns our dreams with our means. Once we have our goal clearly defined, the next step is to take a hard look at our current financial situation. We'll need to review our income, our savings, and debt to determine if we need to make any adjustments to our monthly savings allocation. One question we'll have to ask ourselves is whether making extra mortgage payments on our primary residence could help us pay it off faster, freeing up more funds for our lake house savings. We will also ensure that our emergency fund is enough to weather any unexpected expenses that may arise during this journey. Having a solid emergency fund is crucial, especially when making a significant purchase like a lake house. Without an emergency fund, unexpected costs might force us to pull money from our dedicated lake house savings, which could delay our lake house purchase. Our third step is to align our spending with the goal of buying a lake house. We will need to put our spending habits under the microscope, which isn't always fun. Buying a lake house in 5 years is an ambitious target, and it will require some sacrifices and possible lifestyle changes. We'll evaluate each expense, asking ourselves if it actually brings us closer to or farther from our dream. And like many of you, we've probably accumulated a collection of streaming services we barely use or we forgot to cancel after the free trial. And should we talk about ordering food? Let's be honest, the convenience of food delivery apps like DoorDash can be incredibly tempting after a long work day when the thought of cooking dinner just feels overwhelming. To keep our lake house savings separate from our everyday savings and checking accounts, we'll create a dedicated fund for the lake house. And I like to think of this as a modern twist on the envelope system our parents might have used for budgeting. Growing up, every Friday night, my mom would split money into different white envelopes that were earmarked for different expenses or goals. Since we rarely use cash nowadays, we'll set up a separate account and automate monthly transfers into it. The money we save by cutting back subscriptions, takeout, and any other discretionary expenses will go directly into this fund. Plus, any financial windfalls like tax refunds, bonuses, or unexpected gifts will be added to our lake house savings, giving us an extra boost towards our goal. By keeping our lake house money separate from our everyday accounts, we can watch it grow over time and stay motivated as we see tangible progress toward our dream. When it comes to choosing an account for our lake house fund, we have two main options to consider: a high yield savings account or a brokerage account. The high yield savings account is more conservative, whereas the brokerage account could be higher risk depending on how it's allocated. Let's break down these two accounts quickly. A high yield savings account offers a higher interest rate than a traditional savings account. allowing your money to grow faster while remaining easily accessible. The funds are readily available when making a down payment or covering other lake house related expenses. And while the returns aren't as high as investments, they do provide predictable and steady interest accrual, which is ideal for short-term savings. A brokerage account allows us to invest our money in a bunch of different assets like stocks, bonds, ETFs, and mutual funds. This can offer higher potential returns than a savings account. We can monitor and adjust the holdings based on our risk level changing. We need to be mindful that market fluctuations could temporarily reduce our account value, especially if we need to withdraw funds during a market downturn. Investments are not guaranteed like savings accounts, so there is a risk of loss. We could also split our monthly savings between two options. Use the high yield savings account for a portion of our funds that might be needed for down payment, and invest the rest for longer term expenses. As my wife and I go on this 5-year journey to buy our dream lake house, we know there will be moments of excitement and moments of challenge. Staying focused and motivated will be key to our success. We'll create a vision board filled with images of our ideal lake house, reminders of those cherished moments to help us inspire to keep pushing forward. We'll celebrate the little milestones along the way, whether it's reaching a savings goal or finding the perfect property. And when the journey feels long or the sacrifices feel hard, we'll remind ourselves of the incredible memories we'll create with our family in our very own lake house. We'll picture our kids learning to water ski and wakeboard, our family gathered around the fire pit roasting marshmallows, and the peaceful moments spent watching the sunset over the water. Thanks for joining me as I walk through our plan to make our lake house dream a reality. I know big goals like this can feel overwhelming, but breaking them down into actionable steps makes them so much more achievable. If a lake house or any big financial dream is on your horizon, I hope this video has given you ideas and inspiration to get started. Remember, it's not just about reaching the destination. It's about building the financial habits that set you up for success in every part of your life. If you found this helpful, give it a like, share it with someone working toward their own goals, and don't forget to subscribe for more financial tips and strategies. Until next time, stay focused, stay motivated, and I'll see you on the journey to making your dreams come true.